In the top stories, government to relook mandatory fingerprinting. Sandy Lane records its lowest occupancy in 15 years. A father explains why he restrained his 2 adult sons, and Foundation are the new BSSAC queens. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, March 18, 2016. I'm Natasha Beckles. The Immigration Department has deferred plans to introduce biometric screening at Barbados' ports of entry until further notice. All passengers using the island's ports were supposed to be fingerprinted from April 1st. However, Acting Chief Immigration Officer Wayne Marshall said a decision was taken to defer the program. This will allow the department more time to examine the issues raised in the public arena and to increase public awareness. Mr. Marshall said all legal procedures undertaken in adopting the immigration biometric regulations will be revisited and any irregularities found will be corrected. The Zika virus and Britain's economic and political situations are being blamed for a fall in revenue at the luxurious Sandy Lane Resort. General Manager Randall Wilkie told an awards ceremony the resort recorded its lowest occupancy in 15 years last month. He said revenues for the first quarter of this year have been affected by reports of the effects of the mosquito-borne virus and the weakening of the pound sterling. Mr. Wilkie said the referendum on whether Britain should remain in the European Union also had an impact on the hotel's performance. Despite the setbacks, he said he was optimistic about Sandy Lane's performance. Workers at the Barbados Water Authority have remained off the job for a third consecutive day as they continue to press for the payment of increments. Scores of chanting protesters picketed the Pine St. Michael headquarters under the watchful eye of 2 lawmen on Friday. Some of them heckled co-workers who were driving into and out of the compound. The workers, who are represented by the Barbados Workers Union, say they will remain on the picket line until their demands are met. The St. Michael father, who admitted to restraining his 2 adult sons, says he did it for their own good. Speaking to Nation News the day after he was taken into police custody and charged with wrongful confinement, Bentley Webster insisted he never abused his children and he tried his best to manage them. The brothers, ages 19 and 23, were removed from their home by police on Wednesday after the younger one went to neighbors with chains around his ankles, pleading for help. His elder brother was found locked in a room. Mr. Webster said he was having a lot of challenges with his younger son.
So the chain would have been long and they would have put the lock to the top, but not lock. That's so he was able to walk around.
And you don't ever lock it? That's what you're
saying?
No,
I'm not locking, I don't lock it.
So why did you put the chain on his foot in the first place?
I wanted to scare him. Can't get him staying here at all.
Okay.
So we resolved that. I the way I had some red terrible challenge with him. Police had to bring him home like nearly every night. Sometimes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, wherever.
And how long this has been going on?
That's been going on for like 4 months or even more. So it was very depressing on me. So whenever they come, they bombard daddy. They bombard me, keep him home. Keep him home. And then he would like going Nelson Street. And then he trying to get me off the block. I think they restart to smoke. They find drugs in his system. So I had to do everything in my power to help him along with the doctors, to help him kind of get back a little better.
When Mr. Webster appeared in court, he was granted bail pending a pre-sentencing report. His sons were taken to the psychiatric hospital for evaluation. This year's sugar crop has run into trouble just 2 weeks after harvesting began. Industry sources told Nation News the boilers at Port Vale Sugar Factory were not working adequately, leading to a pileup of harvested canes. This year's crop is expected to produce a record low 7,000 tons of sugar. Head of the private sugarcane growers group, Patrick Bethel, said he was not aware of an extended shutdown. He said he was told there were 1 or 2 leaks and the boilers were being repaired. The harvest has been challenged by back-to-back droughts, last year's late start which impacted this year's season, and the falling number of acres under cultivation. Residents of Cleavers Hill, St. Joseph, are mourning the loss of one of their neighbors who was found dead in bed on Thursday. 49-year-old Ricardo Thompson was reportedly well known in the community, but neighbors believe he was dead for some time before his body was discovered. They told Nation News an odor coming from his home indicated something was amiss. Barbara Yard and Cherise Clark shared their memories of the deceased.
Carl is a good person. He don't trouble no one. he liked drinking, he liked dancing, he liked to enjoy himself. He's a very quiet man, and he would do anything for anyone. Don't care what it is you ask him to do, he never say no. Cat is a great person.
Well, Bob's a nice person, and he used to party a lot and drink, but never trouble anyone. When they saw that, he's passed on.
St. Silas Primary has become the latest school to host Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave, and students ensured their presentation was one with a difference. They performed a reenactment of Sir Elliot's visits to centenarians, prompting him to burst into laughter on several occasions. It was not all fun and games, though. The head of state reminded the teachers that they are role models and urged them to pay attention to their conduct. In sport, Springer Memorial have been dethroned as the girls' athletics champions after a 12-year reign, and Christchurch Foundation are the new queens. At the time of preparing this newscast, Lester Vaughan Secondary was leading the boys, with Queens College close on their heels. You can visit nationnews.com for the full results, including details of Shade Williams' record-breaking run. And finally, grave diggers in China are digging up freshly buried women so they can get married to dead single men. The ghost marriages, as they are known, were banned by the communist government when the People's Republic of China was founded in 1949. But the practice is making a resurgence, causing police to investigate at least 36 suspected recent cases of grave robbing. An ancient belief, most popular among isolated rural regions, says it is bad luck for a single man to enter the afterlife with no female spouse. The bad luck is believed to affect not just the deceased, but his whole family. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your papers over the weekend or subscribe to our e-paper. And look out for the weekend buzz a little later. Thank you so much for joining us.